Hello everyone, welcome to our 21 days daily answer writing challenge. Today we are going to discuss the model answer for day 1, which is dealing with essay. So those who have written their answer copies can submit it at the account mentioned in this particular channel, like ADHIKAAR CAPF in Telegram. There we have shared all the details, like to whom the answer copies should be shared, and all the other details have been shared there. You can simply follow the instructions from our Telegram channel, ADHIKAAR CAPF, and then the model answers for all these questions will be uploaded in our app, ADHIKAAR Academy, the link of which will be given in the description of this particular video. You can download our app and you can download the model answers from our app. So moving on to the discussion of model answer for today's question. They say, so the question is about cyber security as the new frontier of national security in India. So first of all, we try to understand the approach to this particular essay, approach or structure or the different dimensions under which we can address this particular essay. First one is, as usual, like we should start with an introduction, and followed by that, here we can describe how this cyber security is emerging as a new frontier in India's security landscape. So cyber security as a new frontier. Cyber security as a new frontier. Followed by that, we can discuss what are the impacts or consequences of such cyber security challenges, and what are the loopholes or policy gaps that lead to such eventualities, and how to address that. Like suggestion measures, what are the different suggestions here? Followed by that, we can go on listing some of the government initiatives in this regard. What are the ongoing government initiatives? And finally, we can finish with a conclusion or a way forward. So this can be your approach to this particular essay. Okay, starting with an introduction and how this cyber security is emerging as a new frontier of India's security challenges, and then what are the impact or consequences of this particular cyber security issue, and what are the loopholes or policy gaps that lead to the cyber security issue. What are the various suggestion measures that you wish to list here? Like some 3 to 5 points would be sufficient here. And what are the various government initiatives? This can be divided into legal issues, legal initiatives and institutional mechanisms. And finally, one conclusion. Moving on with the detailed discussion of how to approach this one. For the introduction part, we can simply start with either the definition of cyber security. You can simply define what cyber security is. What do you understand by cyber security? Or you can simply describe something about the overall national security situation, including this emerging cyber security situation. Or else you can start with the statistics, relevant statistics in this regard. For example, recently, the Ministry of Information and Technology, MIT, has come up with India's first digital threat report. You can simply highlight some of the key findings from such a report, the Digital Threat Report 2024, or else there was one more recent report, which is India Cyber Threat Report 2025 by Data Security Council of India, DSI. So you can come up with any one of the reports or indices and their key findings or highlights. So this way you could have given a, like you could give a very decent introduction and set the pace for the essay. Followed by that, you can go on discussing cyber security as the new frontier, as the new frontier of security challenges or India's security landscape. So since they are saying it as a new frontier, you can also give a very brief reference to the ongoing or the traditional security challenges. And as a continuity of this, or in line with this, how this cyber security is emerging as the contemporary challenges, security challenges to India. All this can be discussed here, and we should also try to highlight some of the cyber security issues that we are facing in contemporary times under this new frontier of security challenges, like the ransomware attack, ransomware, or else this deep fake based financial frauds, deep fake and digital arrest scams. Both are targeted towards this financial frauds, right? And then this threat to privacy, data theft, or threat to privacy, all these can be highlighted here, right? And then this AI generated malwares, etc., should be highlighted here. And following that, we discuss the consequences of all such emerging security challenges, the consequences or impact, how these lead to increased financial losses for of the gullible people or the vulnerable sections of the people. One is the financial losses, and second one is the threat to individuals' privacy, and that in turn how it leads to aversion among the people to adapt this online mode or the digital medium or social media platforms or anything, right? Like consequent aversion among the people to adapt to the social media platforms or other digital medium, and then its impact on or its challenging nature to the government itself in terms of continuous monitoring or in terms of redressing the issue, etc., etc. So all this can be discussed in the consequences or impacts part. And finally, we can discuss, like, we can give some suggestions how to address this particular issue of cyber security. First of all, we can go for enriching people with the necessary digital literacy or cyber awareness campaigns. Cyber awareness campaigns, and then capacity building of the existing resource personnel, regular capacity building, like updating their training module, etc., etc., and then strengthening their capacity building, strengthening their potential to deal with the cyber security issues with the latest tools and mechanisms. And then we can also discuss or give the suggestions of investing in more R&D towards safeguarding our this cyber security infrastructure, increased investments in R&D. And we can also give a suggestion of this cyber hackathons to identify talent and promote indigenous innovations. Cyber hackathons, identifying talent and promoting indigenous innovation. So on similar lines, like some 3 to 5 suggestions can be given, and followed by that we can highlight some of the government initiatives, ongoing government initiatives that can be split into 2 different subparts. One will be this legal mechanism. Legal mechanism will be like the IT Act of 2000, and followed by that certain sections of this particular Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, and then some sections of National Security Act also will come, especially in terms of this spying, etc. So all these can be discussed under the legal mechanism. And then going on with the next part, institutional mechanism. Here we can highlight various institutions that are available to deal with the cyber incidents, starting from this Computer Emergency Response Team, India, CERT-in, and then there is this National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center, and then there is National Cyber Crime Reporting Portal. These are some of the institutional mechanisms, and we can also discuss about some of the policy measures being taken by the Government of India, which are, first one is National Cyber Security Policy 2013. Cyber Security Policy 2013. And followed by that, various initiatives being launched by the Ministry of Home Affairs, like Cyber Surakshit Bharat and Cyber Swachhta Kendra, etc. can be discussed here in this government initiatives. And finally, in the conclusion part, we can simply finish with saying the need for a strong cyber security infrastructure, especially given the government's push towards digital India and bringing in most of the government services over this digital platform, like direct benefit transfer. And then there are many other platforms like PDS. Everything has been now digitized in contemporary times, or being digitized. So in this regard, how far there is a need for a cyber secure India. So that you can highlight here in this conclusion part. So this is all about a brief framework of the essay today, and the model answer of this can be downloaded from our application, ADHIKAAR Academy, the link of which will be given in the description of this particular YouTube video. Thank you. Have a great day.